Welcome, everybody, to the X8 VRML Season 1 NA semifinals pre-show. My name's Nightfire with 2 E's, and I'm joined by my co-caster, Yellow Hat. Yellow, we've got an exciting day today, the last series of the X8 regular season.
Yes, we do. And so, we had some pretty amazing action yesterday featuring Acer and Rect, and then Eternity and Eclipse. Eclipse have secured their spot to the Denver VRML Con. And so today match is, of course, going to figure out who Eclipse is going up against. And we have, of course, Eternity trying to see if maybe they can muster that win and earn their spot at the convention, or will it be Wrecked? And honestly, if we're getting predictions out of the way,
no, not yet. Hold on, you're jumping the gun. We got a lot to talk about this afternoon because it has been a long road to get here. 13 weeks of regular season gameplay where these teams have been battling up against matched opponents of similar skill. The whole idea of how VRML works is that each week you're matched against an opponent of equal ranking. If you win, you go up in rank. If you lose, you go down in rank. At the end of the regular season, we took the top 8 teams and matched them up against each other in a double elimination bracket based off of where they were positioned in that regular season in terms of rank. They were seeded 1 through 8, and then they battled out in a double elimination tournament. This double elimination tournament has been going on for multiple weekends now, and these teams have put in quite a bit of time into trying to advance in to what is VRML Con, a 2-day, multi-game, on-stage performance of multiple games, season finals, getting played out live on stage. And again, this double elimination tournament starts with, for Eternity, them beating Heaven's Garden, them beating Acer, and then losing to Eclipse. And so let's focus on Eternity's road for a moment here, because that Acer upset really had me thinking that Eternity was going to be bringing it in to the semifinals.
Yeah, and I mean, they've at least made their way to this, part of the bracket, so to speak. But yesterday, Eclipse put on one heck of a performance, and the first match I believe was 8-3, and then the next one was
triple overtime,
back and forth in overtime, and it looked like Eternity really had a fighting chance in that one, but then Eclipse just kind of pulled over there. So now Eternity, showing that they can really perform well against a top team. But then, of course, too, on the other side, we had Rect taking on Acer yesterday. And, Rect and Acer being, they were number 1 and number 3, I believe, in the season, and both, 10-1, 10-2 records. What you would expect would be, number 1 and number 2. We're fighting in the losers bracket, which, for anybody that was casting this, was definitely not something that you would have predicted on how the season was going. But Acer and Rect, of course, faced off yesterday as well, and Rect kind of took almost a swift 2-0 victory. Some of those rounds were really back and forth, and the score lines are pretty close. It wasn't like anybody was dominating like 8-1 or 8-2 or anything, but both teams had some really just insane rounds, individual players really stepping up when they needed to, and Rect ultimately took that. And so, part of me is thinking, they want to keep that, momentum going from yesterday, and they really want to, try to show that they can make this to the con. And just to speak on Rect a little bit too, their Veil team has already secured a spot at the con as well. Veil being another one of the games that we're featuring, in addition to, of course, Breachers and Onward and X8, which you'll be seeing today. But, just for Rect to also have, 2 different squads being represented at this con, in addition to the Acer squad that they beat yesterday, because Acer's going to be participating in both Veil and Breachers. So, this is another one large VR esports organization that's saying, hey, we're in this too, and we're definitely going to be making a name for ourselves as well. So, I'm feeling like they're going to be trying to carry that energy as much as they can. But Eternity, they have every shot to make this happen as well.
Yeah, it is a incredible opportunity for both of these squads, and I do want to take a look at that matchup history just to get an idea of where we could be going today on these stats. And talk to me a little bit, Yellow Hat, about what we're seeing here between Rect and Eternity this afternoon, just off of the stats, wise.
So I mean, Wrecked a little bit more rehearsed and have a much better win rate on Neo Yakuza. They're slightly better than Eternity on Depot there. Depot, of course, being one of the original maps that came through at launch, so that's going to be played a little bit more. Nautica, while Eternity have played more rounds on it, Wrecked have the better win percentage, so that could be something that Wrecked wind up picking, especially seeing that Eternity lost on Nautica yesterday.
Yeah.
And so the maps that Eternity played yesterday were both Nautica and Depot, and Wrecked also played Depot and Neo Yakuza, so those are two maps that they're familiar with. I could see Wrecked, even though they have that win percentage on Midtown, they've only played 13 rounds on it, so maybe that's something that, they could be keeping in the back pocket, but they're not, necessarily going to use as a pick. And then Bedrock being their second most played map, but in terms of win percentage, a little bit worse. But overall, I mean, it's looking like they have a much better win percentage, just kind of overall on things, than Eternity.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Wrecked definitely coming off of a strong win against Acer. So momentum, too, something we got to consider this afternoon in this series. And very interested to see what we get between these two squads. It's definitely going to be a heck of an exciting series. And so at least it's something to look forward to between Eternity and Wrecked this afternoon. Number 4 versus number 3 seed. Frankly, again, another sort of matchup I would have anticipated that we could have seen in the grand final, something that we could have seen at VRML Quan. So I'm very interested in how this goes, and there's so much on the line. I mean, a free trip out to Denver, Colorado. The pressure has to be something that gets factored in here, Yellowhat. It's got to be. It's really ultimately what we're here to see. How do they play under pressure?
Yeah, you kind of read my mind on that one. Honestly, that was going to be kind of my next major point. The thought in every single one of these players' heads is, this is our chance. If we just win today, all we have to win is 2 maps. Then we get a free trip out to Denver. Yeah. We get to play on stage. And, when you're in a game like this, you kind of have to push that thought aside. You have to really just focus. You got to focus on the game. You got to focus on playing clean. You got to focus on being a cohesive unit. And if you start letting that thought of, oh, this is our shot, this is how we get into, con and everything. If you start letting that start affecting your gameplay, I mean, that's your shot kind of out of the window if you were being realistic here.
Yeah, it certainly is. And so we're just 10 minutes away from finding out if one of these teams moves on or gets eliminated. That'll be decided in a best-of-3 series that, again, begins in 10 minutes' time, so you're not going to want to miss out on any of that action. We are going to go to a brief break so we can get set up for the lobby, but it's a great time for you to get your popcorn, get your drinks, get your beverages, get ready and set up for what is going to be a good, solid back and forth, and what could be a 3-map series or decided in 2. It depends on how Eternity and Wrecked come this afternoon. So, with that in mind, I guess quick predictions, Yellowhat. Who do you see taking this series before we cut to break?
I mean, considering that yesterday, we were saying that Acer versus Wrecked could have been the grand final match. I mean, I do kind of have to put it on Wrecked. I mean, I know all of those players I've played against and with some of those players on a personal level, and they're all, really insane players. And not to discredit anybody on Eternity, there's some players that I've played with over on Eternity as well. They're also really, really good. So, I mean, my prediction is kind of over on Wrecked. The statistics show that, they got the higher win percentage on everything. They have a better win record. So that's, if I was a betting man, that's kind of where my money would be.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting this afternoon. I think I'm going to go Wrecked just off of regular season performance. That's where I'm going to base my prediction this afternoon. And so let's see what we get. We're 10 minutes away, 9 minutes away now, so we do have to cut to break and prepare for the series. When we come back, map 1 between Eternity and Wrecked. Don't go anywhere.
Just kicking down all the doors, guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise That's my brother, soon as he out and finished his bid. We finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Big Blue's right on top lane. And there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy. Can get to the EMP inside. Who's firing? Oh my God! No! It's about 5, 4, 3.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors.
Welcome back, everybody, to the X8 Season 1 North American semifinals. Technically, the final match of the elimination bracket of the losers bracket, Eternity versus Wrecked. The winner here advances on to VRML Con to challenge Eclipse, who qualified through the winners bracket yesterday in a fantastic series themselves against Eternity. So Eternity coming off of a tough loss, going up against Wrecked off of a strong win against Acer. I'm Nightfire, my co-caster Yellow Hat are here for an exciting series, to say the least, Yellow Hat.
For sure. I mean, you know, as we mentioned a couple times already, you know, we saw all these teams just absolutely putting in work yesterday, and you know, some crazy plays, and I'm sure that today's match is going to be no exception to that by any means.
Absolutely. It does look like I do have the info for our first map of the afternoon, which is going to take us on to Depot. So while we have the time, let's take a look at the stats, get an idea of how it's going to shake out. It is both teams' best map. And so, Yellow Hat, I mean, you've played competitively. You know how it feels like, what the decision-making process is like. When you're starting map one with your best map and your opponent's best map, what's the vibe, I guess, going into that?
I think, you know, it's somewhat of a risk. Or, oh wow, excuse me. It's somewhat of a risk. Try saying that 5 times fast. To, you know, really kind of be on your opponent's best map as well. Yeah. But I think you just kind of have to lock in, and you really have to just focus on your game and kind of put that fact out alone. Because I mean, you know, at least it's kind of better that you're still playing on your best map versus, hey, they're playing on a map that they're definitively better than us at. And I mean, even then, the stats still kind of show that Wrecked are a little bit better on this map than Eternity. But even then, I mean, you just kind of have to push that away and have the confidence that this is still your best map as well. So you got to play it like it is.
Into it we go. Depot for map number 1. On the attacking side, we have that Wrecked, and on the defensive side, we have Eternity. I think I have those rosters right. I believe Ace, Proof, TBG Dog. Are they? Yep. No, that's Eternity, right? Okay. All right, just got to make sure I got my rosters right there. And so into it we go for round number 1. And we've seen this play before from this team just earlier yesterday against Acer, where they ult right out the gate in the pistol round to get them some very quick pushing right up into sight. Already our first fight unfolding with a smoke wall deployed to blind and deny vision. And look at the corner placement. Look at this move, this play coming in from Eternity. It's real. It's from Wrecked. It's very clean.
Oh yeah, 3 kills going the way of Eternity already, you know, so they are coming in strong, and we do see Akari trying to push right through, but they're getting gunned down by 3 people, and now it's Hero versus 4 to try to make something happen. But against 4 Eternity players, I mean, sure, a couple of them are low on health, but Dynamite gonna immediately get the kill on Hero. Just like that, Eternity have a good start on that pistol round.
That was a big turnaround from Eternity on the retake, because it really did look like it was going to be a round into Wrecked's hands. That opening sequence was very well done. The ult to get them very quick down into sight. The smoke wall that denied vision just onto that far right corner where they ended up planting that siphon, and then the retreat just didn't work. They got caught out in their efforts to set up on the defense for that siphon plant. And Eternity with a really good counter to the point. They did a nice job of battling back against what was a lot of utility getting thrown at them. That's a decent investment, too, if you consider the economic investment there to full buy, you know, into that ult, into those abilities, and then not have the round 1. Definitely hurts the Wrecked team.
Yeah, and we're already getting started in the second round. Ace able to pick up a kill with the Desert Eagle onto Neuro there, trying to get traded out, and Mad Dog does get the trade at least and doesn't lose any health. So Wrecked immediately bring it back to a 4-on-4, which is more favorable for them because, you know, now the defense over on Eternity is a little bit more split up. Now, granted, Wrecked still at the economic disadvantage after losing that first round, but it's looking like they're trying to take a little bit of space over towards the B site here, whereas over on the Eternity side, they're taking space of their own, as we can see one of the players actually going to be, I think, popping an ult ability or ult or whatnot. Hard to tell from there, but just to get some information, so that might even proc or rotate it here as we have 55 seconds left we do have one player over towards B main there, and actually we do see a bit of a rotate coming in, but they're going to be in for a bit of trouble as they are forced to fall back. Saikilo taking a little bit of damage, 45 seconds left, and Rex may be reconsidering a late rotate here as we, get into the last 30 seconds, but Eternity just might read this.
Yeah, it is a very much a ping-pong effect here as Rex try and poke and prod at the defense of Eternity, figure out where their players are, where the defensive utility is set up, and work around that. They've done a great job of doing just that, opening up this site and the siphon going down. They can now defend from the retake, which they didn't have much success from for last round. Maybe this round they can find a bit better of a result here as Saikilo just barely avoiding some first shots, finds some connections there. Hero from the second story picking up a double. Bent swinging around the backside, gets shut down by Akari, and it's up to Dynamite, who's trying to get rid of Hero on that top floor and worried about Akari on the shoulder.
Yeah, and time is ticking as the siphon is getting closer and closer to detonation or scan or whatnot. And Dan kind of taking this really slow. I mean, they might be able to wrap around and get Ikari, but Hero spots him out and does a lot of damage. And it's looking like Rekt might actually go and win this round. We see, Dan, hold up. I might be eating my own words here, as Dan is going to be able to save the P90, but the siphon does explode there, and they're not able to get that final kill on Akari, but Rekt able to take that second round.
Yeah, it is some money into their pockets at the end of the day, so it's not a terrible outcome with the P90 getting picked up, but it is still a round into the hands of Rekt off of what was a very late but well-orchestrated rotation. To save your abilities all the way in till 40 seconds for a site push, it takes a lot of discipline for sure. A lot of trust in the team. And as an early ult comes out, maybe to give away some info on where that defense is set up in particular, nobody really taking much damage. And so Eternity should be able to push up free and clear, but going up against a full, healthy defense of Rekt. Or attacking side of Rekt, rather. I forget they're attacking.
Yeah. Oh, good. We do see some trades going out of the way of both Rekt and Eternity. Dan and Hero both get taken out. Flash coming in, a very nice flash coming in from Ace, who takes out Mad Dog, who Ace is still kind of stuck in that corner, though, so perhaps Rekt will converge on them. But even then, we do see an Eternity player having taken a lot of space over on A main, but Saikilo able to get that kill onto Ace, potentially looking for the second there over in mid, may have gotten spotted. TBG and Bent both don't have that much health there. TBG actually does get taken out by Neuro, and so the man advantage now again going over towards Rekt, and they have the opportunity here to regroup and either take some mid control here, or we're going to see them actually kind of go over towards B main there. The last two players are leaning towards B, so it is a gamble at the end of the day, but they're going to try to get into sight. We do see Proof try to use their hero ability there, but unfortunately not able to get any real damage there. And the siphon does get planted. Ikari able to land a headshot onto the Proof, and now a 1 versus 3 for Bent, who is rotating through the defender spawn there to try to make something happen, but they only have 40 HP, and they're still going to try to go for it. They might as well see what they can do, but Ikari quickly shuts that down, bringing Rekt to a 2-1.
It's again that I think a very similar sort of effect when you get to this very high tier meta sort of gameplay. The defense, getting even 1 or 2 rounds on defense could still be enough for you when it comes to side swapping, for you to then contest on the attacking half. We did see some very good defensive rounds come in from both Eternity and Rekt yesterday. Obviously to win those series, you eventually have to win some defensive rounds. But at the same time, Eternity did end up just you think back, they traded constantly attacking rounds in that double that double overtime, and they couldn't end up coming out on top. So you got to wonder if that's going to be a similar sort of plague on this team or not, or if they'll be able to overcome that adversity of trying to get those extra points on the board as 2 go down and we're into a 4-4.
Yeah, I mean, Ace actually able to get the kill onto Mad Dog, I believe, with the default starting pistol of all weapons. I mean, granted, it was a Desert Eagle versus starting pistol, but as I say that too, Neuro going to be getting the opening pick over onto the A site here and going to be able to take a little bit of space as well. Siphon does go down, so now a 3 versus 4 retake here. Dynamite does have their ult as well, but, you know, they might elect to save it with the man disadvantage there. And, you know, everybody on Rect fully kitted out. We do have an Eternity player coming in over from A main there as they try to look, but Neuro and Hero both picking up kills, and now it's Dan versus 4, and they might just elect to save at this point or try to see if they can get an exit frag. But Neuro quickly shutting that down, bringing Rect up to 3 points.
A solid opener here from Rect on the attacking half. The coordination, definitely something that you see prevailing on the attacking side the most. If you can really sync up with your team and ultimately move together to an objective, that's going to be the telling factor of the success of a team. And Rect are putting that on display right here. We're seeing them very clearly, all moving together, utilizing their abilities together, and then splitting up when it comes time to defend that Siphon plant. That's the key, I think, that you also see a lot of teams struggle with, is once they get that Siphon down, it's holding on to the objective space like you were a defender. You know, you have to kind of change your focus just like that in the middle of a round.
For sure, and so we do see Rect kind of slowing things down a little bit, although the B main push is coming through. And actually a little bit of a split here, as I believe that's going to be, I would assume, a Mad Dog over there. Usually Rect like to do a little 4-1 split with the IGL kind of soloing around. But here's the thing, too. With 4 players spotted over on B main, they're going to get pinched here by Eternity, but that doesn't even matter as Ikari and Neuro both pick up kills there. Hero going down in the process as well. And Mad Dog here again taking this space, gets the headshot onto TBG Dog, and now it's Dynamite and Proof to try to make something happen here for Eternity. But again, Rect just getting away with these opening picks and, you know, kind of going uncontested. We saw a lot of that yesterday with some of these teams. And that was where they were finding most of their success. But Dynamite going to be going down as well. And now it's Proof versus 4. And, you know, things looking kind of grim for Eternity right now as Rect seem to be pulling ahead.
Yeah, it might be worthwhile in doing an eco around here. And for those maybe not in the know or unfamiliar with the game, when you win a round, you get credits. When you lose a round, you get credits. But obviously, when you win, you get more credits. These credits are used to then buy abilities, weapons, all sorts of things that you need to challenge your opponent effectively. And a lot like other economy management shooters like Counter-Strike or even other familiar VR shooters like Breachers or Pavlov, you have to manage your economy here as well. It's not as prominently pointed out in the UI here, but you can see underneath those circles on the left side there or the right side of the player, there's a cash value. When we pull up the scoreboard, you can also see it underneath their kills. That's how many credits they have earned. They then spend those credits on, again, abilities, weapons, everything they need to attack their opponents. So sometimes it's necessary to eco, meaning that you hold on to weapons that you have invested in, abilities that you have bought, and you don't use them so that you carry it into the next round, where you then maybe are going to get less money because you've lost the round or more money because you've won. It's all, end of the day, something called economy management, and we don't tend to focus too much on it, but it is definitely a big factor in the higher tier of X8 because every dollar matters, every credit matters, and so staying alive through the next round with a P90 can mean the difference between a successful round or a not so successful round.
Yeah, and we, you know, all economy aside too, I mean, you know, Mad Dog able to get that opening pick right onto Dynamite, so even everything that, you know, they might have bought or saved from the last round, that just gets kind of thrown away anyways. So Akari does go down to TBG Dog, so Eternity evening things up once again. Now, an ult was pulled off from Psykilo, which allowed Rect to see kind of what the setup for Eternity was going to be on the early round, and so we're seeing them kind of shift over towards this A site as a result of that ult, albeit a little bit later than one would expect, but we do see the rotate coming in, at least from Bent, and then Proof and Ace going to be on that flank there. But unbeknownst to them, there's a Rex member over in mid as well that is queuing out exactly what they're going to be doing. So Siphon's going to be going down, and We're going to see a potential retake situation here. Neuro with a very nice headshot coming out onto Bent, and now it's Proof and Ace to try to make things happen.
On the backside, Hero springs their trap and finds a double kill. That was Mad Dog there taking the shots, and the Hero scooped him up. Mad Dog was right there for the flank, though, and a great pinch from that wrecked offense. 5-1, we go to the final round of the half. Again, for those that don't know, after 7 rounds, we swap sides and reset the economies. We go back to pistol rounds. They go back to the original starting amount of credits that they all had when they started this series. And Eternity get a chance to attack, while Wrecked have to defend. And so we can see a serious change in score come that side swap, but it's not here yet. We still have 1 more round left to go while Wrecked attack and Eternity defend.
Yeah, I mean, Wrecked in a 5-1 lead right now. I mean, we kind of called that they would be potentially winning today's match, but I mean, they're looking pretty dominant so far. Eternity kind of have to change things up, and from what I at least remember from yesterday, the defending side actually kind of tends to be the more advantageous side. So I mean, with Wrecked having these, these attacking rounds, I mean that could just be sealing the deal right there and then. But don't want to call anything too early. The caster's curse does exist. We do see the Ace actually picking up Mad Dog, but Hero does get that refrag. A lot of damage going on to TVG Dog, courtesy of Neuro there, who uses their hero ability. But unbeknownst to them, Bent is in the close corner. TVG Dog able to pick off Neuro. Ikari does get that refrag once again. So 3 versus 3 here as Wrecked are looking to try to take over towards the A site. But unbeknownst to the Wrecked members, Bent is right around the corner in the smoke, and Bent does pick up Ikari there. And Psychela doesn't know where Bent is, and Bent does get the second kill as well. So now it's Hero versus 3 to try to defend here. And Hero going to be actually wrapping in from middle, but they might be a little bit too late.
Yeah, they're going to stick the Siphon here. They drop out for the double. Do not find it. Siphon interrupted in the second round into Eternity's hands on defense in our first half. We go 5-2 and now swap sides. But for those not in the know, the sides don't actually swap on the UI. The colors don't change. But in-game, the teams do swap sides. And now Eternity is attacking while Wrecked defends for the next 7 rounds in this series, in this first map.
Yeah, so this pistol round really is going to be setting the pace of the second half, as pistol rounds tend to do. Pistol rounds, for those uninformed, being with the first round of each half, you have very limited economy, usually under 1,000 credits or whatnot, and so the only weapons that you could purchase are pistols, and so that's why we have the name pistol round there. But we do see Eternity taking a very slow approach, and this is commonly what you'll see on these pistol rounds, just 3 or 4 guns right beside each other.
Ben's got the ult. Ben's got the ult, and when they deploy that, it's going to mean time to increase the speed. And so they come barreling down around the corner. A dome goes up to disrupt the offense, I believe. I think that's a defensive dome that's been deployed, and it's definitely throwing off this initial push and their speed, their pace, their momentum. They do get inside the objective space, but not at the loss of one of their players, turning it into a 4v4. And oh, look at that. Not ready for Bent at the back of Hero there. Hero ability coming out from, who was that?
Neuro.
Yeah, but it does not connect, and we're into it now. Psychilo Meta in a 1v3.
Yeah, and it's like, 9 HP in a dream to try to make something happen here. Now, granted, it's not completely impossible. In fact, if Dynamite goes down, but before I could even say that, Psychila does go down. But in that situation, if Dynamite did go down, Bent and Ace had a combined 10 HP between the two of them. So it literally would have just come down to who hits the first shot. But Eternity taking the pistol round there.
Pretty big.
And, 2 of their 3 rounds won are pistol rounds. Interestingly enough there too.
Yeah, that is exactly what they needed. Wrecked coming out with a solid half 5-2, had a lot of momentum going into this. If they get that pistol round 6-2, you're looking at 2 rounds that you need to lock in on defense to get yourself a map 1 opener in this best of 3. It takes you to series map in map 2, which is a really comfortable place to be. It's where you want to be. And so obviously Rex fighting for that there. To not have that, it means Eternity can get a foot in the door here and maybe start to kick off a couple of sequential wins as Ace finds a headshot over the back of Mad Dog there, and we go into round 9 with a couple down already.
Yeah, 3 down actually for Rect, and now Neuro and Hero have to try to make something happen here, but it's looking like the Siphon is going to go over towards the A side. Hero does pick up 1, trying to see maybe if they can find 2 as well, but they can't go through that firewall there. But now in the corner, Neuro picks up a headshot with a Deagle, and all of a sudden this is turning around. Ace does pick up Hero, and now it's Neuro versus 3 to try to make something happen here. Siphon still hasn't gone down yet, though. And they generally know that where Neuro is. He might have even just got spotted there, depending on the timing. But Ace able to pick up that headshot onto Neuro, and Eternity have started to claw their way back there. Now 4-5.
Eternity's starting to look good. Eternity is starting to do what they've been doing all postseason long, which is fighting. You know, it did not go easy for Eclipse in the semifinals, and maybe that stung a little bit. The fact that that went to so many rounds, went to I think round 21 or 22 overall out of 14, and you know, we went to triple overtime. To lose that, it really hurts, and so they had to look back at that series and try and learn within a matter of hours to prepare for this one. And so we could be seeing that. We could see them bounce back and ultimately stay fighting here on the attacking half as we get a bit of an aggressive move from Ace up through the middle, the dash, and a successful kill to open things up, making it a 4-5. Quick 4-4 as the refrag comes in from Akari on the backside. Another long-range battle and a surprise from Mad Dog on the flank. A quick refrag from Ace turns it back into a 3-3.
Yeah, and that Siphon's actually going to be spotted there over in the middle section, so Rector presumably going to be shifting over a little bit. Now that ult does come out from once this replay thing goes away, that ult does come out from Dynamite there. Ace going to be picking up here, and they bring it back to a 2 versus 2 now. So trades go in the ways of both teams here, and Dynamite is going to pick up the Siphon, and they're going to move over to B with that information that we got from Dan Siphon, showing that those Rex players are generally leaning over towards A. Now they have to shift over, get this Siphon down, and try to, you know, hold this post plant as best as they possibly can. But now we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, what does the defensive setup look like? I'm curious how much utility is left. Are there any flashes in Ace's pocket? I imagine at 14 HP, they're not exactly loaded up with extra abilities or utility, so it's probably going to come down to the rifles and holding the objective down effectively with those. Akari and Nero do have a limited time. As the Siphon does tick down, they are going to have to push in and retake. The forced moves could allow for some early kills. Akari finds one, and it leaves Dynamite alone in a 1v2. Zoning coming in. They're going to try and defuse underneath the nose of Dynamite. Through the smoke, shots come and do not connect onto Akari. They're going to barrel through the outside of the smoke, and Dynamite finds the headshot they need. Eternity are still fighting. Eternity still putting rounds on the board. Eternity have tied this map 1, a space that I feel like we've seen Eternity in several times.
Yeah, and we'll see if today keeps that trend going on, as you know, this is the first time Eternity have tied it back up now. So I mean, you know, they had that small lead in the early beginning, and then Rect kind of took that away for a little bit, and then now, you know, Eternity have won 3 rounds in a row pretty much, and so, you know, they have that momentum now, and they in fact also have 3 ults that they can work with. Dan again can get that information, and we do see Bent use their ult, and they're going to be doing an aggressive charge over towards the B site here, and we do see TBG Dog also popping their ult for the early info and the early damage, but Mad Dog going to be killing Bent there, getting that early kill, but does take a lot of damage in the process. Same thing with Hero. So here comes the ult from Dynamite now, and they actually, Rect do have the Siphon down, as we can see right by Mad Dog. But even then, that's gonna force Eternity to try to grab that. But even then now too, Mad Dog on 20 HP, they really can't be peeking too aggressively here. They want to try to stay alive as much as they possibly can, and you know, Rect have all converged over towards the B site in anticipation of this B take, with the Siphon being dropped there. But 50 seconds left. Neuro using their hero ability gets proof is going to be a big kill there for them. Akari does take a little bit of damage. Hero does finally go down.
Good teamwork. Dynamite flying in. Doesn't get the double. Does get the double. Ace finds 2 as well. And what a quick response coming in from Eternity. That leaves Mad Dog alone in a 1v3 with the Siphon being diffused. Mad Dog going to swing the corner. Finds 1. Finds 2. Siphon's still down. And the kill from Ace on the top for 3 on the round for them. That was a little close, but Rekt did not scoop one up, and we now get closer and closer to Eternity taking map 1.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very good play coming in from Mad Dog. They actually caught the timing there to where they could get the 1 player, and they can catch the 2nd player who was planting the Siphon. And so they were just getting off that plant, but a little bit too late. But then they go for that 3rd aggressive peek to try to see if they can get any sort of info, and Ace is able to punish that real quick. Now, it wasn't necessarily planted for Ace, but Ace would have had more than enough time to try to actually get over there. So, ultimately a good try coming out from the Rekt squad, but Eternity taking the lead, and they are only 2 rounds away from winning game number 1.
Definitely how you want to kick off the best of 3. Puts you at series point. Next map, and I think Eternity were home, so you definitely want to win your map pick of all things as the Ace opens things up. Akari finds a double, not before Dynamite with the kill coming through, and I've got to know if they know the Siphon is down here in this backside. We'll see if there's a collapse coming in from Rekt around to this corner or not, as they do battle off Neuro, who is getting aggressive on the flank there, and in a 2v2 we go. And Rekt just trying to get a point on the board. They have not scored since the side swap.
And I mean, interestingly enough, too, Mad Dog going to be going for the aggressive peek. Does get the 1 player. And don't know if they know if the other one's there, but they have a crossfire set up. And yeah, just like that, great teamwork coming out from the Rekt members. 6-6, so Rekt finally pick up their first defensive round just like that.
Eternity can't catch a break. We could be headed to overtime at this pace. If we go 7-7, we're guaranteed at least 2 rounds. The team has to win by 2 points, and it's first to 8. So if we go to 7-7, then we will go into what is overtime. Rounds past round 14 in total, and so I feel like we're heading there pretty quick, Yellowhead. I feel like that's where we're barreling towards. Rekt do have the task of getting one of these next 2 rounds on defense, though, and they have struggled to get defensive rounds.
Yeah, and I mean, Eternity doing a really good job on their offense, and just like Rekt were doing on their offense, they're getting the initial kills that they need, and they're going uncontested on some of these trades that allows them to get site control with ease. And so we do see Eternity once again just taking a nice and slow approach. They know Rekt have been kind of doing this flank maneuver every now and then, and they're just waiting for it. We could see them looking over towards mid here. They're not trying to get pinched at all, and so they're going to be slowly walking over towards the B site. And with 1:10 left, they still have a little bit of time to play with should things go wrong in the initial push. But even then, they have to be kind of ready for anything.
Map 1 in this best of 3 is, well, exactly what I was hoping for, quite frankly, Yellow Hat. This series is the best of the best on display. These teams competing for a chance at VRML Con. It's got to be on their mind as Proof opens things up for a kill. Ace swings for a second, and they crack the shell of B site. The retake coming in and getting shut down as Hero finds multiple rifles to the face, and it leaves Akari and Nero alone in a 2v5. A very strong round from Eternity.
Yeah, that's kind of insane. You just see 3 opening picks like that. 4 now as Ace takes out Neuro, and just like that, the defense has just been completely shut down. No answer back from Rekt at all.
Yeah, this would be huge on the economy if 5 come out alive, but 1 does go down there. Kari does take 5 damage, but that is all. And they try and force the rest of this team to push into their smoke wall, but that won't be happening, so I do think we're going to get an eco from Akari, which is the right choice. You don't need to push a 1v5 of all things. To get a kill even and survive is an accomplishment, and so maybe they just take that as a bonus and back off.
Yeah, I mean, I had to worry about that. Oh, wait a minute. Akari is going for a peek, but I don't know if this player over in the defender spawn, no, they just barely missed the timing there. But that could have been dangerous if Akari decided to peek over into the defense spawn and that player was actually peeking that. So 7-6, Eternity 1 round away from winning game number 1. Ace on 20 kills right now, and the next highest player's at 12. So definitely an interesting scoreline there. And
crazy, almost double the kill leader on Rekt in comparison, who has 11 for Mad Dog there. That is a heck of a series for them right now. They are certainly coming in here playing strong on that. I'm blanking on the name of the character.
Why not? Shinya.
Yes, and yeah, it's man, they've been playing it great today. The dashing, the quick plays. We haven't seen. I don't think I've seen an ult multi-kill come in yet, and so I wonder when we're going to see them deploy that. They do have the ult available.
Yeah, and Bent has their ult as well, which allows them to do that aggressive charge that we saw in the first pistol round, and it looks like they might just be setting up for that. Now, Akari, the only one on Rekt with their ult right now, so, you know, if some of these ults come in from Eternity, that could spell disaster. We do see Ace kind of dashing in over towards B, and it was looking like, once again, Eternity are going to set up for a B take here. They are primed and ready, and unbeknownst to Rekt, there's already 5 members on the site there, so... The pylon does go down, gets shot up, Siphon gets planted, and now a 5-on-5 retake.
This is crazy. The final round, and Psychillo kicks things off for the first kill. Barreling into sight, gets caught out by Ben on the corner. The refrag from Neuro as they come flying down. And we're into the round here as 45 seconds were on the clock before Siphon planted, but not that much are left now. A great ace. Flash coming around the corner. Nero finds the refrag and the push onto site now. A 1v2 for Nero to try and hold down. Pushing out, looking for the kills. They catch one. Can they pick the double? They do! Rekt is in it. We're going to overtime.
Nero. I think that's all you need to say is just Nero. That is the hero play right there. The 1 versus 3 against all odds. We saw it yesterday too on this same exact map and the same exact site. He lined up the 2 players and then got the third, and today he does the same, a 1 versus 3 clutch to keep Rekt in this game.
There's such good moves there from everyone. Ace with a good flash, a beautiful flash swing to catch those kills to open up the site, but Nero with the multiple refrags being there to find the kills back onto their team. You know, they were trading essentially, using their teammates as bait in a lot of ways to secure those multi-kills. Now we're in overtime. So how this works is that each round we swap sides. So for now, Eternity are on defense, Rekt are on the attack in round 15, and then we'll swap sides for Eternity on the attack and Rekt on the defense.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw an early ult coming out from Dynamite there to try to get some sort of information, but I think Rekt were split up just enough to where that ult really didn't affect too much. We do see a lot of the defense still kind of, you know, this 2-1-2 standard split, that meaning, you know, 2 on one site, 1 person over in the middle section, 2 on the other site, and TBG Dog does have their ult as well, and they're going to actually kill Neuro there, and so an opening pick going the way of Eternity here. We do see an ability coming in from Hero there, and Rekt looking to try to take some space here, but I mean, they only have 50 seconds left. Mad Dog gets taken out by Proof there, and so now, actually, I believe a 4-on-3 might have had a disconnect there, but 40 seconds left. Rekt don't have too much time here.
No, they don't. Akari finds one on the swing. A wall that goes up in isn't terribly effective, but it does at least deter a push around to the corner. And now a 3-3 between Eternity and Rekt. Another dart coming out from TBG Dog. Doesn't identify anyone on defense. Those shots certainly will, though, as multiple bits of utility coming in the eyes. The smoke. TBG Dog catching Akari through the smoke. They'll swing out using the ult, and on the respawn, Hero finishes TBG Dog off. It leaves us with a 2-2 now. Siphon still hasn't been planted, and time is ticking down. Eternity are going to win the defensive round on time alone with 1 left alive. The Siphon will not go down. And now with Eternity on the attack, arguably they have everything they need here to potentially take map 197.
That is something you don't want if you are Rekt. You lose a round in overtime because of time, And that could have just been a miscall right there. You know, the one player does go down over in A main there, and they drop the siphon, and nobody calls it until, quite frankly, it was too late. They had both the players going for the respawned ult there, and you know, one of the players could have came back, and they just needed a couple extra seconds. But you know, that's definitely showing that, you know, Rector nervous here, it seems like.
Ooh, utility out, deployed, a push in, then a late kill there coming through at the end of the day from, oh no, not a kill. It wasn't a kill connection. This shot's onto the back. Akari, however, does find a double. And now on site, the push coming in. Nero picks up another. I've somehow lost outlines. There we go. They're back, and we're into Ace alone on Eternity and Wrecked on defense, absolutely shutting them down. And if there's anybody that can clutch this up, it's going to be this player. Ace alone in the 1v1 against Mad Dog. Cannot win. We're continuing on overtime into double overtime.
Yeah, and so you can see in the overtime too, everybody gets you know, a decent amount of economy. They get $4,500 to spend with, which is of course enough for a full buy. But you know, a full buy being armor and a rifle and, you know, some bit of util there. But you know, even then, Ace not able to clutch it out there, and Wrecked stay in this once again. It's it's just gonna be back and forth, and that's what you could expect from, you know, these postseason matches.
I'm glad that this is the last cast I got to do, because my voice couldn't handle much more of this for more weekends, because this is awesome. This is exactly what you want out of X8. This is what VRML does. It delivers the best of the best against each other in amazing back and forth heated matches where there's a lot of prizing on the line. $700 in cash for first place and a free trip out to Denver, Colorado to play out the grand finals for the top two teams. It's a lot to fight for, and it's what they're fighting for here today. A 3v4 for Eternity on the retake. Site's been planted. One kill comes through from Bent inside the smoke. They're going to continue to hold down site. Pylon to get some zoning out as they crash out of the smoke. Pick up another. Mad Dog with the frag. Nero coming in clutch again, and there's Mad Dog for the final kill. And Rector back in the lead.
You know, you were talking about back and forth, and as soon as you said it, we saw a back and forth trade there. And, you know, I swear this power that we have as casters is simply unmatched. You know, we just, it's like we have a script or something, but we really don't. But those things just kind of happen. But, yeah, you know, back and forth trades going in the favor of Wrecked ultimately, as they picked up 2 kills and over losing 1. But now Wrecked are on the defense, and Eternity, this is their last chance. You know, they can stay in this one and get that 9th round, or they will fall for game number 1 here. And so Mad Dog actually goes down, and he's going to spot 2 or 3 players there. And so that is going to prompt an early rotate, presumably from the Rex squad there. Dynamite does get healed by Bent there, as Eternity looking to enter over into the site. They do get blocked off by Neuro there. Proof sending off their ability. Shots going the way of both players, and we do see a respawn beacon coming in from TBG Dog. They're looking to get space on that site. That ult does go away. Dana makes to get mollied by, gonna get trapped by Psykill, and Nero picks up a kill as well.
Oh no, Nero's here. Proof shuts down Nero. Hero takes down Proof. We continue to trade back and forth, and here comes Ace, the standout shooter for Eternity. Picks up a double, looking for the final kill for a triple in the comeback. The push to triple overtime. It's on the shoulders of Ace, and we're headed to triple OT for map 1.
Ace also showing once again, you know, a 1v3 clutch, and you know, Psykilo, they were just doing the right thing. They had to hide. The siphon wasn't planted, but you know, Ace finds him in the corner, and a little bit of Peeker's advantage goes a long way.
Wow. I can't believe it. We're here again. I didn't think triple overtime would be something we'd be back to, but somehow here we are. A triple overtime series. Round 19 unfolding here for map number 1 in this best of 3. We could have 3 maps, quite frankly, so there's still more to come after this map, but what an opener.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams showing why this is their best map, and there goes Ace and Bent, both picking up kills against Neuro and Psykilo. Mad Dog gets very much hurt there as well, being dropped down to 35 HP. Ace does walk away with only 30, but they could easily get healed by Bent there. Rect try to see if they can find any space here, but with 2 kills not going their way, I mean, that's going to be a tall order for them. They're going to, presumably these 2 Rect members might even be walking into a bit of a trap here. They're going to shoot that pylon down, minute left on the clock, and they're going to be rotating back over towards mid.
If they do, there's a couple of defenders ready and waiting, as you'd expect from a team like Eternity here, trying to read this utility play. They also got to be worried about a potential aggressive flank, although I do think that's TBG Dog either using their ult or simply just getting aggressive. Yeah, they haven't ulted yet. They are just pushed up here. Maybe even hearing the footsteps and the clamoring of this offense. 35 seconds now, and into the close quarters battles we go. Oh, look at Bent tucking in. Mad Dog finds 1, but Bent finds 2. And Eternity take the lead. 10-9. They go on the attack, no less. I feel like this is probably... Well, didn't we see this with Rect, and then they couldn't do it? So who knows if Eternity are going to be able to come out on top. This is what they were plagued with yesterday. Yellow Hat was there. They could not win 2 rounds in a row when it came to overtime.
Yeah, I mean, especially when, everybody's economy is matched and, all that fun stuff. It's as even as possible. And, Eternity trying to see if they can actually, take it a step further and, get 2 rounds ahead of Rect. But, Rect very much holding on into this.
Pressure is on. I got to be feeling it here. And a heck of an opening map. Eternity vying for a win. You can feel everything slowing down here as Eternity do try and draw out Rect, trying to get them to get aggressive onto these corners. And it might just work with Mad Dog pushing up here into the entire team.
Oh, that's not what you want to happen if you're Mad Dog there. And Mad Dog may have only seen 1 player there. I don't know if they would have gotten the information that all 4 players are there, because look at this. There's no Rect defense on B right now. There's literally no Rect defense. Sure, there's 1 over towards B main that's flanked around, but even then, Hero able to pick up the kill onto Ace, but Sakila does lose a lot of health. Hero picking up a 2nd kill, and Hero's going to be going on that B main flank there. Proof picks up Sakila, finally the low health player. 3 versus 3 with the Siphon planted now. We do have Hero over in B short here. 1 player over on Eternity watching the flank. They're going to be stuck in that corner. The question is, do they even check the corner? Ikari does take out TBG Dog, and Dynamite able to kill Hero there. Proof able to kill Neuro, and now it's up to Ikari to try to stay in this for Rect. Ikari, 1 versus 2. Not a lot of time left. Are they going for the...
No, they're not going for the stick. Yeah, they have to take this fight now, and Dynamite's going to catch the kill. Ikari can't clutch it in a 1v2, and Eternity are our winners for map 1 after triple overtime. This time, Yellow Hat, they come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, I might be eating my words here, but Eternity looking strong on that game number 1. Now, again, that is their best map. So, statistically, every single other map is slightly worse than this. So, we'll see if Rect are able to pull ahead on that. But, at the end of the day, too, I mean, Eternity played really well. And, Ace, of course, popped off, dropping 28 frags there. I mean, that is quite a carry performance. But, ultimately, at the end of the day, I mean, Eternity, now they have the momentum, and they just need 1 more match in order to, advance to Denver.
I mean, the reality is, too, and they can do this quickly. If they do get a strong half opening up here into map 2, can really go their way. The thing to consider is that I do believe this is Rec's map pick, so I do believe they get to choose which map we're headed to for map 2. And so you would think they're going to try and pick into a strength. Hopefully that strength isn't a strength of their opponent too, because that's really been, I think, what ends up with map 1 and that triple overtime scoreline, quite frankly. So where do we think we could be headed? I might not have to theorize much longer for map 2, but looking at the data, Neo Yakuza seems like a likely choice for Rect, a place that Eternity do not have a lot of success on. And if you were ever to try and get momentum back into your favor and come out with a clean map win to push it to a third, Neokuza seems like a good place for Rect to do it.
For sure. I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I would, if I were in Rec's shoes right now, after a map loss, I would definitely be picking Neo Yakuza. I mean, any one of their maps, I mean, they're all above a 50%, like a 55% win rate. I mean, and Neo Yakuza is statistically Eternity's worst map. So I don't know if maybe that was, maybe I don't know if they ban or not. But if Eternity were to have the opportunity to ban, I'm sure they probably would have done that. But if not, then I could see Rect 100% picking Neo Yakuza.
It's only a matter of time before we know, and then we should be into map 2 shortly. I do see players jumping in to lobby and getting ready. It gives us time to quickly shout out everyone tuning in, hanging out, and enjoying the action here today. How could you not, quite frankly, with these amazing games back and forth? It's a heck of a series here today, and it's only going to keep delivering for map number 2. So a quick shout out to everyone that is stopping by. Event Tag Quick, Maya OS, Sleepy Penguin, Alta, Northern Fisherman, who else is in here? Destroyer, Goober. Thank you all for stopping by, hanging out, and enjoying the action this afternoon. We do appreciate you for stopping by. If you are new, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing more of this. In particular, VRML Con will be broadcast live to this channel for the X8 matches, so you're going to want to be sure to subscribe here and be able to tune into that live broadcast if you can't get tickets to the event itself, which are on sale right now. If you go to vrml.com/VRMLCon, you can pick up tickets to VRMLCon and watch 4 leagues play their grand finals live on stage. Onward, Breachers, Veil, and X8 all having their seasons finish, and the best teams battling it out on stage in their grand finals. It's an awesome opportunity that's only possible because of our sponsors. Third Verse, the developer of X8, sponsoring VRML. A big shout out to them. We really do appreciate their support. It means a lot to us and enables us to do awesome stuff like provide $1,000 in cash courtesy of Third Verse to that prize pool, on top of flying out the top 2 North American teams to VRML Con July 20th and 21st. Again, thank you to Third Verse for supporting us there and making that possible. Really looking forward to meeting a lot of these players in person at VRMLCon. It's going to be an awesome event, and again, a lot to look forward to. Also, a quick shout out to HyperX coming in and supporting our first and second place teams with actual physical hardware. These teams will be awarded it at the convention, which I think is an awesome opportunity, and we're really excited to be able to physically hand people their prizes that they'll be winning, depending on where they land at the end of their performance on stage at the grand finals. So big shout out to HyperX, also coming in with $2,000 in hardware giveaways at the convention. So if you do go to the con, there's a good chance you can get your hands on a keyboard, mouse, microphone. There's a lot that's going to be given out at the con, so you're not going to want to miss it. Be sure to get your ticket now if you can. And I think that is it. We should be getting into map 2 shortly here. We're just waiting on one more to jump into lobby, and then we should be kicking off map 2 into that 5v5. Where do you think this one's going to lay out? Do you feel us going to a third map, Yellowhead, or do you think Eternity have what it takes on what seems to be Nautica for our second map?
I mean, if Eternity are playing like they have this past map, I think, this could be a 2-map series. But, the hope is, of course, a 3-map series just for the back and forth action. I mean, I want both these teams to, of course, really work for it there. But, at the end of the day, Eternity's playing really well. Rect is playing pretty well too, so it's really going to come down to are Rect's going to be able to shake off the loss and lock in, or Eternity going to be able to keep that momentum going?
Ooh, a tough task to say the least, and we'll see if they can do it as we are getting ready to dive into map number 2. My heart starts to race, Yellow Hat, because I just feel for these teams. I know the pressure they're under and what's at stake. The con is awesome. It's going to be such a cool opportunity to play live on stage. It's something that you really do want to fight for, especially if you love this game. It's an awesome chance that you don't get in really any other space. And so, like you said, it's also kind of a chance for history. You're one of the teams to play in one of 4 lands that's ever happened in virtual reality. So an awesome opportunity that, again, only possible because of the support from Third Verse. And into map 2 we go. I've vamped long enough. Quite frankly, Nautica going to kick off here. Is Eternity going to come out with a map 2 victory, or are we going to a third? We will find out as Wrecked go on the attack and Eternity on defense. Do I have that right?
Let's see. It's popping up momentarily. We'll be swapping it, so Eternity should be on the other side. Yeah, there we go.
Let me update the scores to actually show a winner. We don't have enough points on our scoreboard to actually show off who won. But we will give Eternity that map 1 victory after what was 20 rounds of extra innings there, the overtime coming through. And, well, here we go. Map 2. Is Eternity going to carry the momentum into the attacking half?
Yeah, I mean, we do have a swap from Wreck. They've swapped in Sleepy Penguin for Psycheo there, which we'll see how that kind of works out, but Eternity keeping their same 5 there, so they're going to be taking a nice and slow approach. Nobody over on Eternity having any ults right now, I believe, not that I see, and they're going to be working over towards site here, and we do see a little bit of damage going the way of both players. Dynamite picking up a kill, Hero picking up a kill there, bringing it to 4-4, 4-3 now as Hero picks up a second. Neuro picking up the kill with the ability. Sentry is going to be going down. Dynamite picks up another kill onto Hero. Now it's Dynamite versus 3 stuck over in A main there. And we do see the wrap coming in for Mad Dog, but Mad Dog only has 9 HP. Unsure of why they're challenging that, but they're giving Dynamite that free kill there. And Mad Dog does have, the ability to heal their teammates, so a bit risky of a play from them. But, Akari's only 25 HP, Nero's 40 HP, so this is not undoable for Dynamite by any stretch. The Siphon is down over on the A site. It does get grabbed. I believe Neuro or whoever was on site is going to be spotting that, and Dynamite is going to be faking the rotate, and that might actually proc the player off. Neuro somehow actually goes down to 10 HP there. I think might have taken a shot from Dynamite there potentially, but 25 seconds, Dan is going to play the clock as long as they can. And I mean, even with 2 players versus 1, Dan has the health advantage. So 15 seconds left, the player's still over on site. Dan does get spotted, 12 seconds left. Dan's going to go right for the Siphon plant. I'm actually going to fake it, but Neuro with the ability, the wise play, and Proof with the very post-mortem site, or
how did they
kill there? Oh,
the Sentry got it. I was wondering how Proof of all players got a kill there, but yeah, that Sentry never went down. And well, at the end of the day, Erect do take that first point, and I think for the first time in this series have the lead against Eternity.
Yeah, I mean, and this is their first pistol round that they've won.
Or no, they had a lead in double overtime. They did have a lead at one point, so I'll stand corrected on that. But anyway, sorry for interrupting.
No, you are all good. Eternity going to be switching up their approach a little bit. Going to be going over towards that B site there, and we're seeing a little bit of crab walk strats going over to B. And we do have a little bit of mid presence as well. They're going to be doing a bit of a split play, but their first objective is to try to get rid of these pylons that have been set. Bent trying to do everything they can. They lose a little bit of health in the process, but not too much. Bullets flying their way. Bent's going to be falling back there. And we do have still a couple of players over towards A, and we have some missed shots there coming out from Wrecked, and that player is going to be forced to fall back, and Eternity going to be allowed to have a little bit of that space. And now we do see a couple players trying to get attention over towards the B site, but unbeknownst to Wrecked, there are 3 players over towards A. The Eternity player is going to fall back and going to regroup and try to take this site all together. We do see Ace trying to walk their way through middle there. Ace taking a little bit of damage, Dynamite taking a little bit of damage. Wall does go down, and the take on A is beginning now. 35 seconds left. Shots coming out from Hero. Hero going to be able to pick up the first kill, but the Siphon is going to be planted there. Siphon does get planted. Neuro picks up a kill with a P90 there, and now for Eternity to try to hold. Proof does pick up a kill with the Desert Eagle there. TBG Dog also evening the score with a Desert Eagle headshot, and now Wrecked back into a 3 versus 3. We do have one Wrecked player on that flank though, but Hero able to pick up yet another kill onto Proof. Neuro picking up the kill on the TBG Dog, and Bent is going to be wrapped here as Neuro picks up that final kill. Wrecked picking up their second round.
A wild and crazy opener here, but it's what Rec need to be doing on a map that I think they have more playtime on. Nautica, 92 maps. No, actually, Eternity, definitely the ones who you would argue would be the favorites, but the win rate is better for Rec. So, yeah, it's I don't know, curious, but still a solid opener for them. 2-0 on defense, no less. I think Nautica, out of all the maps, is one of actually the harder ones to attack, just because it is very confined to a specific amount of lanes, whereas I feel like you see a lot more options to enter sites on other maps.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with this map especially, it's a lot of tight choke points. You know, there is kind of an open skybox as well, but you know, pretty much every part of any site or any part of the map that you're entering, it's this narrow pathway. You know, and it's very easy to kind of get stuck there and you know, on a map like Depot, you know, things are a little bit more spread out, things are a little bit more wide open, so to speak. But
right.
Again, no damage has been done yet. We do see a bit of a quiet round, but Neuro potentially looking for the peak here, and gets taken out by Ace there. And I don't know how much information they got, but all 5 players of Eternity are in mid, and this could be, you know, something that Wrecked are not expecting. But that kill on the Neuro definitely going to be helping Eternity out there as they look to come over towards this A site. Boosted spot there, and Sleepy Penguin does get taken out by Bent, and this is going to start the execute. Ace takes out Akari in the corner, and Eternity are very much going to have this site.
Nice control, good use of abilities here. The pillar down to zone out as well, make it difficult on the retake and slow down the duo, which is all that's here in this 2v5. Eternity, yeah, finally stamping back, and nice pickup there from TBG Dog to essentially let Mad Dog know that it's not likely that they're going to have a whole lot of success pushing in here in a 1v5 now.
Yeah, and I mean, Mad Dog, it's not like they even have a rifle or anything that they can pick up. They're still sitting on this P90, so they're just going to go run and save and try to salvage whatever they can of whatever equipment they have.
Time is ticking as the Siphon will eventually go off. And yeah, it's interesting that they would use the ability of that pillar to get a little bit extra zoning and safety there, but maybe it's worth it. You know, that pillar cost might not be too high to carry that P90 through, so their teammates can pick it up if they want. I do see a P90 on the ground, but I don't know if that's actually there or not. And so who knows what the effective economy management is of these teams. You know, I wonder if they worry about it as much as we're thinking about it here on the desk, or if it's something that just kind of comes and goes as you win and lose. You buy what you can afford. I imagine it is a much more thought-out process in terms of what you are able to pick up, as we have seen certain abilities only come out at certain times, certain ults come out at certain times. Round 4 here, we're seeing the ult come out again from Ben.
Yeah, but kind of a wasted ult, really. They don't get any sort of damage or any sort of information even from it. Perhaps activated a bit too early. Akari coming in with the mid push, and then Ace with a nice refrag. Gets the flash around the corner, gets the dash. Akari not able to get out of there in time, and Eternity looking to go over towards the B site here. And the question is, the Rec defense, not even on B site. They're pretty much in spawn, and so this is going to be a tough retake for Rec coming through.
Yeah, they managed to push off one of the defenders there, with Bent losing a lot of HP, going down to 26. They now do have to push up here, though, and as the smoke wall goes up, it's definitely going to slow down their ability to push in and retake this site. Ultimate's coming in as well, but a trade and over a 1-for-1 over the top. Information for the team to work with. They now know where this defense is, and they're going to set up accordingly. A good bit of zoning with that trap there to push off, again, the duo from crashing in and retaking. And this could be another eco round. This could be Rekt holding on to the rifles and not pushing in for this Siphon defuse. And I mean, I love to say it, but we could be heading to another overtime series, quite frankly, with how back and forth we're going here.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I have to wonder, you know, if this map is more attacker defender sided. So I mean, you know, it seems like Rekt is struggling to hold on these rifle rounds, at least on the defense. But you got to wonder, I mean, is it, you know, Eternity is just able to get, like, you know, an opening pick or even capitalize on, you know, getting some space, and then they're just able to group up and just swarm a site, and then trying to retake if you're Rekt is kind of hard.
In round 5, we do go. Eternity, a little momentum now, quite frankly. 2 rounds in the books on the attacking half. They got to be feeling good with how things were starting. Rekt were definitely in control in the early defensive rounds, but they really haven't been since. We've seen a lot of utility and abilities come out from the likes of Eternity. So I'm curious to see if we're going to see more of the counter coming in now because they managed to save up after a couple of losses. It's going to be a big round for Rekt right now.
For sure, and we do see Eternity setting up for the A play, and so, doesn't even matter. The piling goes down, but Hero able to walk away just barely. Though. I mean, they are on 11 HP, but Mad Dog kind of needing to get over there to maybe get the heal, but Eternity, the rest of the Eternity trying to capitalize and trying to get some sort of a trade, but Rekt are not allowing that at the moment. They've dropped 2 Eternity players, and we do see one player actually rotating, actually all 3 considering the rotate over towards the other side, but unbeknownst to Eternity, there is an anchor, the one and only Mad Dog themselves on this site, but even then, I mean, the Ace is getting so much space here. This is going to be tough to retake if Mad Dog goes down, so Mad Dog needs to live. Mad Dog does kill Dynamite, but TBG Dog kills Nero, and they should know where one of the other players are. TBG Dog picks up yet another player.
Oh, that's a good flash. They'll get tossed up there. The swing from Sleepy. They'll connect on the Ace. Barreling into sight now in a 3v1. TBG Dog goes down. Rekt. And what is probably the most important round there of this half, bounce back. If they can take control of the rest of this half while they're on defense, they have a pretty decent opportunity with the side swap and the reset in the economy. But right now, I don't think even a 3-3 or a 4-4 puts Rekt in a very comfortable spot when they do have to swap sides and go onto the attack.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see when we do get to the second half how both teams are able to adapt to their new side or whatnot. But Rekt finally able to get a rifle round on defense now, and you know, again, we're seeing Eternity doing their initial push on the mid, trying to get that initial, you know, space, and then they're able to work with it. It's looking like they're favoring B this time, as we do see a P coming out for one of the Rekt players just to get info, and I think information they did get as Ace does try to return fire, but you know, we do see them going over towards B, and actually Rekt themselves taking a little bit of space over on the A site, trying to see maybe if they can get the wrap around. But we do see an execute coming on to B.
Ooh, a nice flash over the top there that does hit Mad Dog. Mad Dog still able to see, though, after it dissipates, but the battle of the ults ending with what seems to be Eternity in a bit of an advantageous spot in control of B site, and soon to put down the pylon in a 2v2, actually.
Yeah, Ace does get picked off of that corner spot, and Siphon still hasn't gone down, and it's actually Dynamite versus Hero now in a 1v1, but Dan gets the pre-fire onto Hero, and just like that, he steals the round away for Eternity.
I mean, What an awesome series here. What a time for these teams to step up and fight and compete against each other in such a way where it's an incredible back and forth. Oh, I love to see such an even matchup in the postseason, and it makes for an incredible spectacle. You really get a good idea of what X8 is and what it's about when you get to watch the best of the best play it.
For sure. And I mean, you know, with these rounds going so even, I mean, it truly is the best of the best. I mean, it is hard to tell who's going to win. And we do an awkward exchange there, but Akari able to make it out there, almost made it out as TBG Dog does pick up the kill with their ult as well. And look at this. I mean, there is a flank coming in from Rekt as well, but that gets stopped by Ace. And, you know, that could allow Eternity some map control there. But even then, Hero picking off yet another kill. Ace picking off another kill. Hero picking up another one. And now we are 2 versus 2, but Dynamite picks off Hero, but gets very much damage. And now it's Sleepy Penguin versus 2 to try to make something happen here. They're playing Ring Around the Rosie. Sleepy Penguin picks up Ace. And now it's Dynamite again in a 1 versus 2, but Sleepy Penguin puts a nice end to that. Rekt getting another round.
If they had the Siphon down, that turret might have done the work and killed the Siphon interrupt there. We've seen it at the postseason already, so I'm not going to count it out. But yeah, it's the half, and Rekt are in the lead in map 2, 4-3. We swap sides, we reset economies, but we don't change colors or sides on the UI. So Rekt are still blue, Eternity are still pinkish red, and the second half of map 2 begins now.
Yeah, I mean, both teams playing really well. I mean, Eternity, they're just doing an amazing job of just, you know, getting the space in the map, taking map control, and if they start doing that on the defense, I mean, it could be a bit of a problem for Rekt coming through here. But Neuro does pick off Ace, getting the start for Rekt there. Mad Dog with the MP9 picks off Proof there, and they're going to be able to get that tripwire down as well. We do see Akari throwing up the Vesper Eye there to try to get some extra information, but Dynamite lurking over into B main there, and the Siphon is going to go down, but Dynamite just barely, as Dynamite does pick up the kill onto Akari. The Siphon is planted though, so time is ticking for Eternity as they're looking to do this retake, but a 3 versus 4 retake here. Dynamite gets cut down pretty much there. 7 HP and a bit of a dream. Hero does pick up TBG Dog. Neuro picks up Bent, and now Sleepy Penguin putting Dynamite down. Rekt take the piss around.
Nice opener, but we've seen this before where Rekt actually took the 2 opening rounds in the half and then struggled to find points on the board for several rounds in a row. So we'll have to see once Eternity get their economy under them after what is probably going to be another bit of an eco round here. Rekt may have a hard time getting those final 2 points to take map 2. Eternity, because I say this just because, I mean, look at it. Multiple triple overtimes, that's an indicator of a team that does not let go easy.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this match also went to an overtime as well, but we will have to see what happens, especially after the pistol round. Of course, the first full by rifle round for both teams is going to play an effect on that, but Neuro getting taken up by the Ace with the starting pistol, so showing that, you know, anything's possible, and Rekt might not actually catch the timing of the second player in main there. Ace picks up another kill with the default pistol, but Hero puts a quick end to that with 2 kills with that P90. Now it's Bent and Dynamite in a 2 versus 3 retake. Siphon does get planted over towards the B site, so time again is ticking. Dan trying to see if they can pull off a sneak kill or whatnot, but with the starting pistol, they might not be able to take a head-on-head fight really well there, but Dan trying to connect some shots, doesn't actually connect a shot there. Hero takes out Bent and swings around, gets the kill into Dan. Hero picking up a 4K there.
Rekt are up 6-3, 2 points away from taking map number 2 and pushing us to a map 3 series decider. Hero is 14-4, and it's a comparable performance to Ace last map.
Yeah, I mean, you know, standout player there for sure. He started 10-4 this past round, and then of course going up to 14-4 there. And you got to wonder if maybe he'll continue that streak here in game 2, and if Rect win this, maybe even game 3. But we do see Dynamite getting a little bit aggressive here, trying to take an aggressive peek over on the B site there. Rect just playing it nice and patient, but even then, not much map control has been taken yet, although they are trying to go for mid. Neuro shooting off their hero ability there to try to get the defender off of mid so that Rect can set up for this A take here.
An ult coming out as well to enable a bit of an aggressive dive in. And nobody is home on A. Bent goes down. The ult picked up. Nero with a beautiful frag over onto Ace. A double for Rect here. Now a clean in control series. 4v2. Make it 3v2 as they do start to lose a bit of their player advantage here and what could be them pushing it to map point.
Yeah, I mean, Akari in a good spot here if Eternity want to try to wrap around. Hero picks up TBG Dog, and Dynamite, unbeknownst to him, has a player behind him, and Akari going to be picking up that kill just like that. Rect now on match point.
A much cleaner series for Rect overall if you do compare them. Obviously, pushing it to map point here for map 2. But, again, we've been to a place like this, and it sometimes can be the hardest to get that final point. I gotta wonder what the economy is like for Eternity. We're not seeing full armors come in across the board. Dynamite not able to afford 100 armor here. Probably opting in for abilities or a rifle even, but if it's an eco round and they don't have, yeah, they do have rifles. Okay, so they do at least have enough to fend off what is going to be a fully kitted and ready to go Rect offense.
And look at this, Rect have 4 ults. They have Akari has an ult, Mad Dog has an ult, Neuro has their ult, Sleepy Penguin has their ult, so they could even pull off the aggressive play that they did last round where they pop it, they get the kill, and then they'll either go and respawn at their respawn beacon or they'll, you know, just kind of keep the streak going. But that combined with these other ults, I mean, Rect are prime and poised to try to do, you know, something crazy here. But again, we're seeing a bit of a slow approach over towards B. We do have one over in the back part there, one over Dynamite picking up the kill onto Mad Dog there. So one player for Rect going down, but even then, Mad Dog just kind of being the lurk there as Rect look to actually set up over towards A. We do see a bit of a response coming in from Eternity there, as we do have one player rotating on the defender spawn there, but now it's looking like Rect will start to execute on A, but we do have 2 to 3 players actually rotating back over, so maybe they waited just a tad too long there. Akari does pick up the kill on Ace. Penguin picking up a double. Very good ult use there. Neuro picking up Proof, and this is looking kind of grim for Eternity now. Dynamite picks up 2. They're on 25 HP, though, so they need to land headshots first and not take any damage, but you know, Siphon's down, time's ticking. Neuro and Penguin are in good positions enough to trade each other out, and now Dan has a tall order. The 1 versus 4 retake they need to do here, but again, still time's ticking, and Dan is taking this really, really slow. Dynamite picks up Sleepy. 1 HP in a dream. Neuro right around the corner, though. Dynamite trying to look, and Neuro puts the nail in the coffin. A very solid attempt coming in from Dynamite, but Rect taking it 8-3 in a swift victory.
Whew. A back and forth series that's taken us all the way to a map 3 series decider. Triple overtime map 1 that goes to round 20 is won by Eternity. Map 2, a very different scoreline. A much more dominant performance from Rect. And quite frankly, if we're going to look at player history, map history, all of that, it's more of what I expected in this series. I thought Rect were going to come in with some strong map wins like we saw there on Nautica.
For sure. And I mean, you know, it's kind of a testament that, you know, they're able to win so dominantly after, you know, a map loss. I mean, an 8-3 victory is a pretty decisive victory. It wasn't looking like it was going to be that early on, but I mean, Rect just, you know, they flipped the switch and they rolled with it, and they were able to, you know, just take victory decisively. And I would imagine that, you know, if they're able to keep this up, I mean, the next map could go the same way, especially because, again, we're not playing on Eternity's best maps here. You know, now we've already played Eternity's best map, Depot. Now we played Nautica, which Eternity has played the most, but Rekt has a higher win percentage on. And then now we're in between Midtown, we're in between Bedrock, and we're in between Neo and Yakuza. Bedrock, Eternity have hardly played. Neo Yakuza, they have their worst win rate on. Midtown is probably going to be their best choice here, honestly. But even then, I mean, while Rekt has played Midtown not as much as Eternity has, they have a 62% win rate on it. So, you know, if you're in the mind of Eternity, it's like, what do you even pick here? What is your choice?
Yeah, it is hard to say what the right option is this afternoon for that team. And that's kind of the beauty of if you really dive into it, the high level map picking options too. You know, there's all these stats to consider that you're seeing in front of us, including also your scrim history, how successful you've been playing up against this opponent in offline matches. You know, that's also something that gets factored in to all of this decision making, and something that we don't even see. So, you know, who really knows, I guess, where we're headed for our third map. But we do have a third map guaranteed this afternoon, so I'm sure everyone tuning in is plenty happy for us to be diving in to map 2. But I am getting word that we are going to go to a timeout here. So that means about 10 minutes before map 3 unfolds, and we have a decisive winner that is advancing on to VRML Con, and we have a third place Season 1 finalist. That's where map 3 is going to lead us to. That's what the outcome is, and so you don't want to miss it. We're going to go to a brief break, but when we come back, it's the third and final map of Rekt vs. Eternity, and someone is going to VRML Con.
Kicking down all the doors, guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, just kids, that's wealth years and years. Promise my brother, soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Big Blue's right on top placement. And there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy from into the EMP inside. Oh my God! No, it's not 5, 4, 3. Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, just kids, that's wealth years and years. Promise my brother, soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. Welcome back, everyone, to the X8 North American Season 1 semifinals. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's, my co-caster Yellow Hat. And if you're just tuning in, you've missed an amazing series between Wrecked and Eternity for a chance to advance on to play their grand finals live on stage at VRML Con 2024, Denver, Colorado, July 20th and 21st. It's an incredible opportunity that's only possible because of Third Verse, so we really do appreciate them. And Map 3 is ready to unfold in front of our faces, and if you were a observant individual to the stats, you've guessed this correctly. We're headed to Bedrock for our third and final map between these two teams. Bedrock, a 57% win rate from Wrecked and a 56% win rate from Eternity. Much more played on the Wrecked side in comparison than Eternity. So we definitely do see a little bit of a favoritism into Wrecked's hands for this map, but it is their worst map for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, I mean, Bedrock is going to be another one of the original maps that came to the game on launch, and it features a very large middle indoor section. It is all up in the mountain and whatnot, or volcano, whichever. And you can kind of fight over that, and then both of the sites have a bit of cover that you can play around, and they're both outside, so you can throw some util from some of the main approaches, and ultimately too, if you get control of mid, there's some really just insane angles that you can take either site from, but you'll see teams kind of fighting over that mid control. And then on top of that too, I mean, a lot of these sites have multiple pathways to get to them, so it will be interesting. One of the sites has a window spot that you can actually look over the entire site from, and then the other site is kind of surrounded by the opening parts of the central cave. So it's a map that differs a little bit from the other two maps that we saw. Things are a little bit more wide open, so it gives both teams a little bit of extra breathing room on their approaches to sites and trying to obtain map control or whatnot. But it'll be interesting to see, nevertheless, how both these teams approach Bedrock here.
Yeah, we did have a bit of a technical false start there too, so I do apologize. We were going to dive into map number 3 here, but then some lobby issue that prompted a lobby reset. So again, we do apologize for that, but man, almost ready to dive into map 3, almost ready to figure out who is going to be playing against Eclipse at VRML Con. If Wrecked make it through here, it's a rematch. They already have faced off against Eclipse in this postseason where they lost 2-1. They challenged Eclipse strongly in that postseason, but ultimately could not come out on top. So it's going to be an awesome opportunity, a storyline that'll be really intriguing to follow if Wrecked make it. In comparison, Eternity, obviously also getting the rematch against Eclipse. So either way we go, the grand finals, VRML Con, going to be amazing with who comes out on top here today. And we are now going to find that out, as this time I think we are actually, I'm going to wait until it's confirmed. But this time I do think we are actually getting into our third map on Bedrock. And again, a shout out to everyone that has been tuning in and waiting through these intermissions and breaks. And we really do appreciate you. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. I do think it's your last chance to get in on the social media giveaway that's been going on with HyperX. But it's the last chance. I think that ends today. So get your follows in, get your points in, get your raffle entries in, and get a chance at some HyperX headsets, a free pair of HyperX headphones. Definitely something worth fighting for. Something you could also get if you go to VRML Con. And now I do think we're actually heading into Bedrock, so I am going to throw on the fancy intro, and we can get ready for map 3.
Alrighty, so we are going to be getting into this first round here after we saw that lovely intro of this, really gorgeous looking map here. I gotta say, again, one of my favorite maps to personally play through, and we do see Wrecked taking that initial approach. We'll have to stop the team names there, but Mad Dog doing the ult there, but TBG Dog and Damn Knight both picking up their first initial kills there, and the Siphon is going to be dropped, so that's going to prompt a rotate. And we could see Eternity already immediately closing in on Wreck there, so they are kind of trapped in this bit of the map here. Dynamite gets lit up there, but doesn't matter as he picks up the third kill onto Sleepy Penguin, and now it's Neuro and Hero to try to make something happen here. They have a minute 10, and we don't actually see Eternity, really pinching them. They just have all 5 members over on site. We do get a little bit of a heal there from Bent there, and again, the Siphon is trapped, so, I mean, Nero and Hero have a tall order on their hands in this next 50 seconds.
No kidding. That's why everyone's here, too. Because they are very much waiting. Not waving to the crowd. Very much waiting for this push to come in from the duo. And I think they know the KD. They know the kill feed. They know how many are left alive. The ult is going to come out. Or the hero ability. It does not catch a kill into that back corner like they were hoping. But Nero does find one over the top. A nice headshot onto Ace. Looks for more with that shield up. Can't quite break through it as Bent finds one and Dynamite the second. A good hold of the Siphon down on site, and Eternity with a clean defensive round opening up things here on the pistol. Have a 1-0 lead, I think for the first time since map 2.
Yeah, I mean, Eternity just doing a really good job of shutting down that push. I mean, Rex had the ult and everything, but that kind of didn't matter. Eternity able to get those first 2 opening picks just completely, unanswered by Rex. And on top of that, they were able to get some heals off as well. I mean, they were pretty much doing everything they could have correctly there. So Rex is now going to change up this approach, and they're going to lean over towards the A site now. We do have a little bit of split trying to get some mid control as well, but the sentry does go up, I believe, over on Rex side of things there. And Nero once again looking for the initial kill with that hero ability. Could open something over on A, but we do have a rotate coming in from Eternity here. At least they're starting to lean over towards the A site.
It'd be hard to break through without a bunch of utility, though, and there is that hero ability to the back corner that almost catches TBG Dog down entirely. TBG Dog with a counter ult that does some decent damage onto Hero themselves, taking him down to 10 HP as well. And Nero going to clean things up with a kill over the top. Sleepy finding Ace on the backside. It does mean that this team is getting picked apart by Rekt now on the attack, in a much better attacking round for Rekt here, off of a round 1 loss, no less. Definitely a nice comeback. It's not fully locked in just yet, as Dynamite tries to find some shots over the top. The Siphon does go down, and Dynamite may be able to catch the kill here onto the site. No, they can't, as the wall goes up and they retreat.
Yeah, 2 versus 4 retake now for Eternity to try to figure out here. I mean, Akari and Hero are both pretty low, so if they both go down, then, that fight becomes a little bit more even. But we do see Bent kind of coming out there, and Hero going to be going down to Dynamite, but Sleepy Penguin able to get that refrag, and now it's Bent versus 3 in this retake situation. They know one player's behind the box. I would imagine they have a general idea as to where the other 2 are, but they need to start acting fast. They do have that Desert Eagle, so as long as they get a headshot, they should get the kill. But even then, I mean, it's seeming like maybe they're just trying to bait some stuff out. They actually do bait Neuro's hero ability out there. And Sleepy Penguin does manage to pick up a rifle and gets the kill. And Sleepy Penguin really being the MVP of that round, picking up 3 kills there.
Back to 1-1. You got to wonder, though, when it comes to the side swap, is one of these teams going to step it up, right? Because when we saw this happen for, I believe it was Eternity in map 2, they went 3-3 on their first half when they were defending, and then when it came time to attack for Rekt, it went very much in favor of Rekt. So I wonder if that happens again here, how that's going to go when it comes to this side swap. And I gotta imagine Eternity are really feeling that last loss. You have to be able to shake those off, though, and refocus into the next round.
For sure, but at the end of the day, Rekt just did a really good job of splitting that Eternity defense up, and that earned them the round there. But now we're seeing a bit of a slow approach again from Rect. And again, they're doing kind of this similar thing where a couple players go over towards mid, maybe get a little bit of attention. Shots do come out. A little bit of pre-fire comes through. TBG Dog, though, does go down after getting Mad Dog, though. Sleepy Penguin able to get the kill onto Dynamite. And so now at 4 versus 3, Neuro sends out the hero ability to try to clear out some space. And they do get the shots onto Proof. A very nice place, the long-range headshot. And now Benton, the ace, both on the A site here. The Siphon does get planted, but I think did it get planted over at the other side, or am I just imagining things?
No, I think it did. It's definitely not down here, but they are going to fight here regardless as Ace dashes out over the wall. Going to push the tight corner and catches Nero on a reload, but not fast enough. Rect in the lead now on the attack, 2-1.
Yeah, very good round coming out from Rect there. They get their opening picks, and you know, Neuro just really getting some of those insane headshots. They're already up at 6-1, and some of the players on Rect haven't even gotten a kill yet. So, you know,
yeah,
2 people doing a lot of the work for right now. But I'm sure everybody on both teams will start to pick it up a little bit as we, you know, continue the final part of this series.
I love it. It is such a good bit of back and forth. It's good quality VR esports. It's the best, battling it out, trying to put their absolute most aggressive foot forward. As we do get a bit of an extended defense push up here from Proof, and they'll get punished. They go down. Ults come in too, not necessary, as Bent does to consider reinforcing. A good bit of a zoning nade there to force them to rotate. And on the backside, it's going to be up to Ace to really start to put some kills on the board. Hero shuts that down now. And now it's up to Bent and TBG in a 2v5. Rector looking good on the attack now.
Yeah, and Bent does get, you know, a lot of health lost by that pylon there. And there's actually a second pylon. So Rector completely denied the access to site even. So it's looking like this retake is going to be borderline impossible for Eternity to try to pull off here, as they're going to be looking to save here.
Oh.
Sleepy Penguin, though, completely denies that and gets both kills, putting Rect to 3-1.
Just sitting inside that smoke and waiting for them to push forward. A very patient counter defense there coming in from Rect. Feels like they're in control of this series at this point. They've gone 8-3 map 2. They're in a comfortable lead 3-1 in map 3. It's a big moment for Eternity because now they should have enough cash to be able to full buy in with all the utility they need to hold things down on the objectives. And so if they can get a point here, it puts them back in contention, really, for when it comes to the side swap.
For sure, and we do see the ult actually coming out from Dynamite there to try to get some information as to where Rect is. But again, just I don't think Dan's really going to get much information there because Rect are going to, you know, kind of react to that. We do see a little bit of pre-fire coming in from Eternity over in mid, and they're going to kind of shut down the early mid control there. But again, Rect kind of leading over towards this A site here. They're all grouped up, ready to go. We do have a couple players over in mid. Sleepy Penguin able to get the first kill there. And again, this is what I was talking about, you know, these little peaks that you can do from the cave part of the map over towards either one of the sites. You get an elevated position. I mean, that's got to be hard to deal with if you're a defender. Ikari picks up a kill onto Ace. Dynamite, though, gets the refrag into Mad Dog. Nero picks up TBG Dog. And now it's just Proof and Dynamite to try to hold things, and they're completely split up. Siphon goes down, and this retake, once again, kind of going to be almost undoable for the Eternity squad.
I don't know if they're going to be pushing in with how I'm seeing Proof and Dynamite set up. They may very well be ecoing here. Proof does catch Nero, getting very aggressive away from objective. And that's kind of a net bonus, because again, I do think it's an eco here. We are seeing them carrying 2 rifles in hand, tucking back to spawn. Yeah, it's definitely going to be an eco at the Siphon planted. There's no chance for the retake. Rect are going to go up 4-1. And like I said, Eternity at this point are just looking to pool up the cash they have for at least one more successful round on the board.
Attackers win.
For sure. So Siphon does explode. Rect pick up their 4th round, and with only 2 rounds left in the half, I mean, if this turns into a 6-1 from Rect, I mean, that will surely be something. So Eternity really have to dig deep. They lost that second game, and after a hard-fought first game, I think at this point, fatigue could start coming into play. Surely it's a best of 3, and a lot of these people play,
more than
a
that.
lot of video games.
Yeah.
But mentally it does come into play. You're not nearly as sharp when you're in the 3rd game, and you just really have to dig deep and lock in. We do see a couple Eternity players actually trying to get a little bit aggressive over on the A site. The Vesper Eye does come in from TBG Dog, and Neuro trying to look for the kill there, but they're just going to be holding the angle, and Eternity getting a little bit of information on where some of these Rex players are, but even then, how much are they really going to be able to do with it?
Turret there, quickly eliminated, and a bit of a standoff in the middle as both teams vie for a little bit of positioning, a little bit of ground up through that center space. But it is very much poking and prodding, and you can tell that the pressure is being felt by both squads now as the pace suddenly kind of slows up on this important round 6.
For sure, and in fact, 45 seconds left in the round, and nobody has done damage to each other. This has been a very slow round, but Neuro coming in, getting the kills. Proof picking up a triple, just like that. Mad Dog picking up TBG Dog, and the Ace picking off Mad Dog, and now it's Hero versus 2, Bent and Proof. And so now Hero has to try to make the play. Proof on par for a 4K here. Siphon is dropped, but Hero going to be able to pick that up. Surely. 15 seconds left, though, and they have to commit to this site. And unbeknownst to them, there's a player right above them, 10 seconds, that are not even bothering to check, but the other player's not even bothering to come out. 5 seconds. You got to play it, and Proof is able to take out Hero. Interesting that, when you're at the end of the round and time is ticking like that, you got to try to clear things a little bit more aggressively. You got to try to act a little bit faster, and, you would imagine the team is feeding you, hey, you have 10 seconds left. Hey, you have 5 seconds left, So that's interesting. I'm surprised he didn't act a little bit faster there, but, that's... it's also caster hindsight, too. And, again, Proof doing a really good job, as we're seeing in the replay right now, with that triple kill.
That's one way to get your team to be in control of the round, and a big one, because now they have a chance in this half to go 4-3. You're seeing a wall come up to deny vision, a smoke coming out to slow down any advance onto this site, and whether it's fortunate or not, all of that utility is going to waste, as the push is definitely coming up through towards A's site. Ace with a double, though, and Rect could really be looking at 3 points here on defense. There's the triple. There's Quadra. One more for the Ace. They have their target in sight. The flash comes around the corner, and Mad Dog shuts it down. Ace picks it up. Mad Dog actually got a different kill. Ace has the ace to wrap it up on the half. And wow, Eternity bouncing back when they need to the most. And we go to a reset of economies and a side swap.
Yeah, I mean, this is about as even as a half as you can get. And,
yeah,
it's... For game 3, I mean, both teams have to be a little bit stressed out. I mean, you're just 3 or 4 rounds away from a potential victory, and you can't let that go to your head. The moment you start doing that, the moment you start making mistakes, and that's another caveat of these high-level teams playing against each other. It really comes down to which team makes the less mistakes, and that could be as simple as one mistake that costs you an entire series. So. Needless to say, we see Eternity headed over towards the B site here, and Neuro coming in with that ability, takes a little bit of damage, but TBG Dog picks off Sleepy Penguin. Akari getting the refrag onto Ace, and Eternity taking a little bit of site control there. We do see Mad Dog actually popping the ult, which
interesting.
Maybe a little bit premature, not really doing much of anything there. Minute left on the clock, and this push has kind of come to a screeching halt. Eternity considering a rotate here, as we do actually have one of the players on the flank, but Nero actually catches him off, and that was the player with the siphon there. So now that kind of puts Eternity in a little bit of a bind here, but we do see Rect getting a little bit aggressive here to try to stop that siphon grab. That was definitely called that. We do have a player wrapping them as well. So 40 seconds left, and Rect need to kind of aggressively peek this if they want to, hold on to the siphon. But Neuro making the worthy sacrifice for their own team, gets the kill onto themselves as well as to one of the Eternity players. And now it's Proof versus 2, but here's the thing. Akari's 29 HP, so if Akari goes down, then, it's a fair fight between Hero and Proof. But now, if Hero goes down, Akari's only at 29 HP. They're immediately at a disadvantage. They do hear the steps of Proof, actually using their shield as a back shield, protecting them from the shots to the back there. But Nero, I think, actually had a little help from the sentry there as well.
5-3, the first point in a while for Rect, quite frankly. I think it was 3 in a row from Eternity there to get back into that first half. But that's a big one for Rect. On defense, they bounce back. A pistol opener gets them the win. It's is it going to be Rect in 2 maps in the back half of this series, or are we going to see Eternity claw their way through to a map 3 victory? That's what I feel like is going to be happening. I feel like if Eternity are going to win, it's going to be through overtime. If Rect are going to win, it's going to be by a decent scoreline, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we do see Akari taking some shots there. Mad Dog actually takes a few shots there as well, but Mad Dog able to pick up the kill onto Bent. We do have one player coming over into mid. Ace picking up a kill with the default pistol, but Neuro with a very well-placed Desert Eagle headshot. Hero picking up a kill with the P90 as well. Now a 2 versus 4 for Eternity to try to make something happen here. TBG Dog does pick up the Deagle kill. Hero picking up yet another P90 kill, but they know roughly where TBG Dog is, and at 55 HP, he has a lot of work to try to do here, but TBG Dog does pick up a P90. They are going to be able to rotate out of here at least, but even then, Rect are very much clued in as to kind of where he is, but even then, they're all kind of focusing on the same thing. TBG Dog does have the opportunity here to, flank around and maybe isolate some of these fights. That would be TBG Dog's best chance at doing anything here, and they're going to be walking through, and surely one of these players finds him, and Sleepy Penguin going to be the one to do it. 6-3 for Rect, and they are 2 rounds away from securing their trip to Denver.
Gotta watch out. Gotta be careful. Eternity have to start chipping away. Gotta start bouncing back here in the later stages of this half. There's not a lot of wiggle room left for them, quite frankly. And like you said, 2 points away from Rect getting a trip out to VRML Con July 20th and 21st in Denver, Colorado. It's something that would make you a little bit shaky in the hands. The pressure, the stress of it all can end up impacting how you play. I'm curious to see if Eternity are going to step up here or continue to have a bit of a tough time getting points against Rect on the attack.
Yeah, I mean, TBG Dog does pick up Mad Dog in that refrag, and we do see an aggressive mid to B play coming through here. Dynamite does pick up Hero, and so now Rect down to 3 players. Eternity with the advantage here, and they have the opportunity to even rotate here, but Akari picks up 1. He's going to try to fall back, but Proof able to get the kill onto Akari, and that's going to allow the free rotate over to the A site for Eternity here. And we do even have a player trying to cut off the rotates here over on Eternity, but Sleepy Penguin and Neuro have regrouped here. TBG Dog does go down. Neuro only taking a little bit of damage there, and now a 2 versus 2 retake for Rect to try to pull off here. Neuro spots 1 player, but doesn't actually connect any of the shots. Ace picks up Neuro. Sleepy Penguin picks up Ace, and now it's a 1 versus 1, and Proof able to get the swing and the hit on the Sleepy Penguin's face. There is Eternity picking up their 4th round.
Comes down to 1 left alive on Eternity's side, but hey, that's all you need, as they do put another point on the board and do start to chip away at the lead of Rect. Rect can't let it happen. They cannot go back in to overtime, as it certainly did go okay for them. Ultimately, Eternity came out on top, and I'm sure that'll be something in their minds if they do go to overtime again here in map 3. Our series decider, the winner here of this map advances on to VRML Con.
Sure. So I mean, it's getting even once again. Eternity looking to try to get over to B site, but Sleepy Penguin does pick off that opening player there. Bennett does pick off Mad Dog. Sleepy Penguin picking off another one, and that sphere goes away. So Dynamite able to get that refrag as well. TBG Dog does kill Neuro there, and so now again a 2 versus 3 retake for Rec to try to make happen here. Eternity again in the advantage. We do see TBG Dog throwing the Vesper sphere there as Rector trying to enter into the site. Akari gonna be clearing the corner, gets the kill onto Dynamite, and Siphon still hasn't gone down yet. Actually, Eternity, considering the rotate here, they're gonna be rotating all the way through the spawn. They do have the time to make that happen, but you know, will Rect kind of pick up on that, or will they? I think they are actually, as you can kind of see the outlines there. They are running over towards the A site, and we'll see. It's looking like Eternity are gonna beat them there, but they did have the realization the Siphon is going to be going down. I believe one of the players does get caught crossing over. The eye does go out. TBG Dog picks off Akari, and now it's Hero versus 2 in a retake situation with a P90 and a Dream.
A dream indeed. They'll peek the corner, and TBG Dog will clutch it up for the squad, picking up 2 and taking us closer to OT. 5-6. Map 3. If you're just tuning in, you've missed an incredible series of X8. Number 3 versus number 4 in regular season, duking it out. Back and forth, every map, quite frankly. 20 rounds in map 1. A strong win from Rectate 3 in map 2. But frankly, I'm feeling with every round, we get closer and closer to another overtime scenario.
And I mean, Rects don't really have too much economy to play around with here, so they are going to be, you know, Eternity is going to have that advantage over them. And we do see the ult coming out from Bent there, as they could be doing the aggressive play here, but even then maybe it was popped a little bit too early, as we have some reactionary utility coming in from Rect there. But Bent does get the kill onto Akari. The rotate is going to be coming in. A Hero does pick up the 1 dig there and does get themselves a rifle. So Rect now, for the first time in a couple rounds, has that man advantage. Mad Dog picks up a kill. Hero picks up a kill, and now it's Dynamite versus 4. 2 players are low, so not undoable. As he does pick up the 2 low players, so now it's Neuro and Sleepy Penguin to try to secure this retake. But here comes Neuro with the Hero ability, and Sleepy Penguin actually coming in from behind with the P90, and Rect going to be able to get that defuse.
They take it to map points. They take it to series points. And they have a little bit of a runway to do it. They can afford to lose a few rounds before it comes down to do or die. Granted, 2 rounds, and then we go to overtime. But still, it is 1 point away from Rect winning here. So what do? Do you invest everything you have into this round? Is it worth saving any cash just in case if you're on the Rect side?
It's a tough consideration. I mean, you want to make sure that you have a little bit of wiggle room. I mean, Mad Dog, they're only on $400 right now, but I mean, Hero could still theoretically purchase them should Rect lose this round. But as Eternity, you are forced to purchasing everything you possibly can. So at least on Rect's side, you want to try to match that and be a little bit better. Akari picking up. Yep, getting that first kill. Neuro picking up the kill as well. But look at this mid-aggression coming in from Eternity. Hero, though, picks up 1, picks up a double. And this is looking like Rect are about to secure their tickets to Denver just like that.
They are headed to VRML Con. Congratulations to our champions, Rect. One of 2 teams that gets to play out their grand finals live. July 20th and 21st at Denver, Colorado. It's a hats off to them, to say the least, as they do come out on top in a best-of-3 series. The final map going their way, albeit quite closely, but still a 8-6 victory off of what was a sort of an incredibly fast final round there. Blinked and you would have missed it. But they've done it. They have locked in their advancement on to VRML Con. And, well, I'm going to reach out to them and see if we can do an interview. But, yeah, I mean, your thoughts, Yellow Hat, on this series and on Wrecked going up against Eclipse at VRML Con.
You know, I think this is definitely a little bit closer than maybe we had been expecting, you know, especially with how well Wrecked played against Acer yesterday. I mean, Eternity put up one heck of a fight. I mean, you know, they won game 1. You know, game 2 definitely was a more definitive Wrecked victory, but they tried to hold on as much as they could for game number 3 here. But Wrecked ultimately able to go on there, and they will be fighting Eclipse in Denver. And on top of that too, just on a broader scale, you know, this is their second squad that they are bringing it to VRMLCon, as Wrecked also advanced for Vale as well. So this will be definitely a tale to tell for you know, when we get to VRMLCon next month. But it's crazy, you know, we're less than a month away to the con, and you know, we're gonna see some of the best esports that you know the community has ever seen. And you know, if today was an indicator of how some of these matches are gonna go when we get there, I mean, it's gonna be insane. Let's put it that way.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, we're going to get the rematch between these two teams, which is going to be incredible, between Wrecked and Eclipse. And like you said, it's the start of these franchises. I'm going to jump in and interview Akari really quick, so Yellow Hat, do hang by. We'll be back to wrap things up. But let's jump over to Akari and get how they are feeling after what was a incredible best of 3 series. Akari, I gotta say, congratulations to you from coming out and advancing on to VRMLCon. How does it feel after what was a really hard fought BO3?
I'm like on the verge of fucking crying, bro. I just ran like all around my house just screaming, I'm going to fucking land, bro. Like,
the language we apologize for.
I'm
Please
so sorry.
try and stop swearing.
I will.
I know you're excited.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I can understand the emotions are certainly high. But again, congrats to you for advancing on to VRMLCon. How did it feel after losing that first map in that triple overtime?
It was definitely a heartbreaking defeat. But in the back of my mind, we were just like, hey, Wreck's been down before, like we've lost the first map before, and then we just bring it back. And that was just the mentality. It's just like, we're all really good shooters, and we're all capable of winning and beating Eternity. And it's just like, we kept that mindset, and we just went out there and did it, bro.
Was there a motivational speech coming out of that loss in map 1? Was the team rallying?
No, we were not, because like we weren't rallying. We were just really calm. I feel like everyone else was calm except for me, because like I was like deaf in Discord, and I was like pacing around like my kitchen. I was like, all right, come on, Wreck's been down before. I need to lock the heck in, and that's what the heck we did, bro.
And I appreciate you tuning in here and chatting with me. How does it feel to be going to the convention now that you finally made it? You know, what is your prep looking like? Are you thinking about it at all? Or are you just reveling in the win?
Dude, I'll be so real, bro. A week before our game against Acer, bro, I was like, so the owner of Wrecked, Echo, he sent me a Quest 2 controller, right? And I was like, Echo, send me your PO box, send me your address, bro. I'm not going to LAN. And then, like, it just happened, bro. It happened.
It did. You are advancing on to VRMLCon. Congratulations for with that W. Any sort of final shout-outs to anyone in the community before we do wrap up Season 1 before VRMLCon?
Just shout out to everyone who just, like, supported me on my way here. Shout out to Reg. I love my teammates. I love everybody who supported me through everything, bro. My 3 years in this community, man, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Congratulations, Rect. Happy to have you advancing on, and I'll be shaking your hand soon enough out there, Akari. We'll be shaking hands at VRMLCon.
I can't wait.
Again, congratulations to you and to your team. It's a well-deserved victory. But that's it for Season 1. A wrap on the regular season. A incredible final series. Yellow Hat, your final thoughts on Eternity and Wrecked before we do call an end to Season 1 and get ready for VRML Con in July.
It was a great game played by both teams. I mean, at some points it was really a hard call as to tell who was actually going to win that one. But, Rex, ultimately played a little bit better of a ball game today. And, I mean, massive shout out to both the teams and all the teams that made it all the way to semifinals here. And, I'm sure that Eclipse versus Wrecked is going to be one heck of a match to, for everybody to watch.
The entire con is stacked. It's going to be incredible to tune into all of the finals for all of the seasons. But X8 wraps up with a bang, an absolute stellar best of 3. That's going to be it for us here. A quick shout out to our sponsors, Third Verse, for making the game that we all love and for enabling Season 1, for enabling us to do this and for enabling us to fly out the top 2 finalists to play live at VRML Con. You can hear the emotion in Akari's voice. They're obviously incredibly excited. It's an awesome opportunity that is only possible because of the support from Third Verse. So big shout out to them. We really do appreciate them as a sponsor. Also, we appreciate HyperX coming in as well as ProTube, a fantastic stock sponsor that helps stabilize your aim in any of your favorite VR shooters. I like my MagTube here on the side, but you can get a discount by using code ILOVEVRML at checkout for any of your ProTube purchases, and I can't recommend their products enough. They're fantastic stock options. They've got an exclusive VRML Con ProTube stock that's going to be debuted and given away at the convention. So on top of HyperX gear and everything else, it's something to look out for. If you want to get your tickets now, you can. You can watch these teams live. You can meet the players of Wrecked at VRMLCon if you go and buy your ticket at vrml.com/VRMLCon. What a season. What a season. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by for Season 1. And thank you for tuning into the postseason. I look forward to meeting a lot of you at VRMLCon. But until then, my name has been Nightfire with 2 E's, my co-caster Yellow Hat. We'll see you July 20th and 21st. VRML is brought to you by Helga, the esports manager, Triangle Factory. Thanks for watching VRML.